So you want to get into the world of content creation. You want to be a filmmaker, an entrepreneur. You want to start a business, a YouTube channel about makeup and music, or whatever it is. But you want to go down this path. This is something you really want to do. And you're not quite sure where to start. And you know that there's so much competition and everybody wants to be a YouTuber and everybody's making content. How do I make content that stands out? And how do I get gigs? And how do I get hired? And how does my business take off? Well, honestly, it has a lot to do with relationships. And when you start your company or your YouTube channel or whatever it is, you're going to want to really build your relationships. And you're probably wondering, well, how do I do that? Where do I go? How do I meet people? It's so difficult to find people in my industry. And then you're thinking, well, what if I'm not really a people's person? What if I'm an introverted artist and I don't really go out and do anything? That's when it gets a little more difficult. And if you don't have a partner that kind of balances you out and can help in that department and kind of run the business and the networking and help build relationships, it's going to be up to you to really go out there and do that. And that's where you got to kind of come out of your comfort zone a bit. So you're going to really have to work on yourself. The personal growth and you coming out of your shell has to be priority. You have to be self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. Are you a people's person? Maybe you're not. That's okay, because I wasn't either. 10 years ago, I was a little baby noob just sitting in the corner, minding my own business, didn't want to talk to anybody. Thank God I had a really good friend and a great relationship with him, and we started a company, and he was the social butterfly. He was the extroverted guy. He was the motivation, and I was the artist, the creative that kind of sat in the tuck. And to this day, I still pretty much am. But I'm to the point where I feel comfortable doing it. I can hold my own, I can go around people, I can network, and I can build relationships and be confident with that. Networking is pretty much everything when it comes to self-employment, entrepreneurship, starting a business, YouTube, social media. Networking is going to be the answer for a lot of your problems. And a lot of it is done nowadays through social media. Social media is a monster, like I said before, and you can do a lot of networking through social media. You can use Twitter, you can DM people, you can go on Instagram, you can DM people on there, you can comment, you can interact, you can engage with people, you can start building a community, you can reach out to people, you can email people. I mean, it's one of those things where you just can't be afraid to ask. You have to put yourself out there. Even in the beginning, when I had no reel and I had no work, I would reach out to local artists and I would reach out to other fellow collaborators and musicians and other people in my industry just to see if they would work together and just see if we can come together. And that's how a lot of our crew was formed, was just by reaching out to people and saying, hey, you want to be a part of this project? You seem really talented. Let's get together, let's collaborate. And then they become like a family, and then they're loyal and you're there for years and you're working together and you build chemistry. And then that branches out to other things. I remember hearing a song on Apple Music by this band Owl. They're signed to Equal Vision Records, and I really liked their music. It was chill, it was very emotional and powerful, and I could see myself doing a video for them. So I was like, you know what? I've kind of got to this point where I'm really confident with my abilities. I have a reel, and I have nothing to lose. Why not? Let me just ask if they'll want to do a video. I would even do it for free because I want to create something for them and also build a relationship. Because the benefits of that would outshine the amount of effort and time I put into it. At first they were like, we got to kind of put this on hold, but we'll come back to you in 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. And I'm optimistic about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I've heard that before. I've done this before. But sure enough, 2 weeks go by and they reach out and they say, we have this video for Too Young to Fall in Love. And the singer has this idea and he wants you to direct it and bring it to life. And I was blown away. I was like, yeah, this is an awesome idea. And it was amazing to be a part of that and to create this awesome video that said so much about social media and the world we live in now. And the experience was just mind-blowing because we got to work with Parlay Studios out in North Jersey. And because of a relationship we built with someone else who unfortunately passed away, he connected the dots with us with that studio, and they really helped us out. And I'll forever be grateful that they did that. And they provided us with some insane equipment, a crew, and the video just came out phenomenal. And I was just blown away by the whole experience. And that was just the power of relationships and networking, that these people were nice enough to understand, like we had a connection to someone and he's no longer with us. This is a way we can pay tribute to him. We've all worked together. Let's do it for him. Let's dedicate this to him. Rest in peace, Alex Gassan. You'll forever be missed. To this day, we do not forget anything you've done and anything you've taught us, and your energy. Thank you for that. Thank you for being a part of my life. You can always go to live events, and of course people are going to say, well, how do I find these live events, and how do I network with people in the same industry? I mean, you got Google, you got Facebook, you got Snapchat, you got Instagram, you got friends, you got family. You can always ask questions. Going to events, of course, allows you to interact with somebody face to face. It's a little bit more intimate and allows you to build a relationship more solid, better than social media, where you can't really see how people say things and how they act and their mannerisms and how driven they are by their body language. So I think it's very important when you meet someone in person and other people in your industry that you also listen to them, and even though you're super passionate and you want to talk, you listen as well. That's very important. You're respectful, you're polite, you're patient, and you treat people just good overall. I think that's a major part of building relationships and networking, is just knowing how to treat people. You want to go to this event and you're maybe not having a good day, but you really got to act like you are having a good day, because everybody goes through those motions. There's no reason for you to take things out on people and burn bridges, because that's how you burn relationships, and that's not what we're here to do. So I really suggest that you work on yourself, and when you go to these events and when you meet people, even in social media, when you message people, there's certain ways that you can talk to people, and that just comes down to education and how to present yourself, and the energy that you put off can be infectious to other people around you, and people can tell if you're being fake. So it's very important that you're being yourself, but you're also trying, in a sense, that you really care, that you want to talk to this person. Also, you want to utilize the relationships you already have. Maybe you have a friend you've known for 20 years and he knows somebody who's an actor, or he knows someone who's in the makeup industry, or he knows someone who works for Adidas. And you're trying to maybe pitch a shirt to a celebrity. Maybe this guy who's been an acquaintance, but he knows your friend, can maybe put on one of your shirts and you could take a picture, or he could take a picture. And it's just the power of networking. It doesn't hurt to ask, it doesn't hurt to try. You're providing something to that person. When you're building relationships, you need to provide something. There's going to be times when you're going to have to invest, and that at the end of the day, that relationship is so important, the longevity, the potential of more burgeoning work and other relationships, and it can just branch off into so many other opportunities that you may have to give something up for free. You may have to do something for free. Maybe it's something you don't really want to do, but you do it anyway because the relationship matters. And when you do it with all your heart. You put 110% into it. You don't act like it's a free gig and you're not getting paid, or that it's just a favor. No, you can't look at it like that. You got to look at the long term of it. And then, of course, you need to balance your work and your personal relationships. This is extremely important, because the way you treat your clients and your friends and your potential clients and the people you're going to meet might be different than how you treat your girlfriend or significant other. Sometimes they can coincide, and sometimes they can really deteriorate your career or your personal life depending on how you treat them. You started it and everything's great and you're getting to know that person and you're putting 110% in, and you're basically in this infatuation, I see this person, that they're perfect kind of stage. Well, when you start a relationship with a client or with someone you want to work with or someone you look up to, you're going to treat them the same way. And you're going to give them the utmost respect. You're going to treat them really well. You're going to be honest with them. But at the same time, you're going to try extra hard, because you haven't built that relationship up to the point where you feel you can really just let loose. Because there's a difference, obviously, between a business and a personal relationship. Someone you love and someone you've known for many years or even 6 months and understands all your quirks and the way you talk, they might be more accepting when you talk a certain way. But to a client, you need to understand that you can't talk to certain people a certain way, and then obviously balancing them both together and making sure that there's no strain on either end, because you're going to treat your client or your potential client with a lot of respect and put the time in and really be responsive to what they want and what they need, because at the end of the day, they're paying you. But you can't also let that dominate your personal relationships to the point where you're neglecting the person you love. So I think there's a balance there, and that's very important. But at the end of the day, the world revolves around relationships. The world revolves around love, and it revolves around communication and people. When you build relationships, especially in this industry of self-employment and content creation, it can lead to so much longevity and loyalty. Loyalty is key because then they'll call you back over somebody else. And by me making these videos, I'm building a relationship with you, the community, because I'm putting myself out there. I want to be vulnerable. I want to show that I'm a human and I'm learning as I go. Some of you may be just starting out. Some of you may be still doing it for years and you're just looking for some motivation. Building relationships has taught me so much. And I wouldn't be anywhere I'm at without the power of relationships.